I was just, this is Tom Ashbrook from On Point. I was just wondering, why didn't the NPR report on certain events that happened throughout the course of covering the bombing? Specifically the fact that there was private military contractors at the finish line, or there was allegedly private military contractors. They have come out and said that this was a CST team, and with my understanding is every official at the marathon would have some sort of identification on their back, whether it would be from the BAA, from the FBI, from Boston Police, or from the National Guard. And I'm just wondering, this was brought up and people were talking about it, and I was wondering why NPR didn't report on this.
It's the first I've heard of it, which may say something in itself. I'm confident that our reporters have reported on what they've been able to verify. I don't know about the particular issue that you're describing here, but in my experience with our reporters, they put on the air what they're able to pin down. And okay. I assume they did that. If they were aware of this but didn't report it, they must have felt that they weren't able to verify, confirm it. But I don't know the details of that you're describing.
Okay, the pictures were on naturalnews.com, and then they were on infowars.com, which has probably like 5 million views a day.
I'm fascinated by what you're describing, but I haven't heard it from my reporters, and they are my eyes and ears in the field.
Okay. I have another question. I sent audio into WBUR and GBH. I was listening to the police scanner of the night of the MIT shootout.
Yeah.
I recorded that police scanner. There was 80,000 people listening to that, just on the feed alone that I had.
Yes.
And
a lot of people were tuned in.
People heard on that police scanner that there was a possibility. Now, I'm not saying this is true or not. It was just heard on the police scanner that there's a possibility that there was a stolen state police SUV. A lot of people heard it. It was on Reddit. People were talking about it. And I sent that audio in, and I'm wondering why NPR refused to acknowledge that audio, or even play it, or even let me on and talk about it.
I have no idea. I do know that they've had a lot of reporters in the field working around the clock. You know, I'm sure that not everything that comes their way they're able to get on the air. I don't know about this particular piece of information or piece of tape from the scanner at that time. I just don't know the answer.
Okay, I know you're very busy. I'll just do one more question. Seeing as what is going on in Syria, the fighting, how come there hasn't been any talk about the proximity of the Caucasus to Syria, and the fact that there was rebels being brought to Syria to fight against the Assad regime, particularly
from the Caucasus?
No, well, rebels from all over, but particularly there's been reports that the reason why they don't want to talk about Benghazi is because there was rebels being trained at Benghazi, brought through NATO-aligned Turkey into Syria to fight. Now, the United States has been funding the organization that is in the Caucasus to fight against the Russians, supposedly. I don't understand why NPR, which is National Public Radio, won't make this connection.
You know, you have a presumption that there's some unwillingness to make connections, and I am not aware of any such unwillingness. If they just literally, objectively have not made the connection, that would be my assumption of why, if they're not talking about if it's there. But you know, there's a lot of supposeds in there, and supposeds are difficult to deal with in a repertorial world. But they pay as much attention as anybody to these regions, and what can I tell you? You've got a picture that they may not convey or see just as you do, but I can't tell you who's right here.
Do you think the FBI has been forthcoming with all its information?
I doubt it. They've got an investigation and trial, and I mean, it's very common for them not to share everything with the public. That seems to be standard operating procedure for them. But they have shared quite a bit in this case, which has been interesting. Anyway, thanks for coming.
Okay. Do you think that there should be a commission?
A commission?
A commission for Congress, for the people of Boston and America.
A commission on what?
A commission like the 9/11 commission.
You know, there may well be after this. I have no idea. It's the first I've heard of the idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came out.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yep, sure. Good night.
Thank you. Good job, Tom.